Hi, welcome to Zeens and Roger. Today's tutorial is for the crossed treble crochet stitch, also known as the canework stitch or the star mesh stitch. I've heard it called those names before. There's probably other names for it as well. And it looks like this when it's all stretched out. So this is a stitch that looks best in something that you're going to block. What I'm going to do is link to all the online resources where I found this stitch so you can find various versions of it. I've got a shawl using this stitch available to buy, and I thought this would be a good partner if you wanted to make that shawl or any other project with this stitch. This is a swatch that I did for a shawl ages and ages ago, and you can see what it looks like when it's kind of put into a project. So first things first, what you need to do is have a chain that is multiples of 4. Each pattern that I have found tells you different ways of starting. I'm just going to do the most straightforward one, and that is multiples of 4. I'm using Aran weight yarn with a 4.5mm hook. So what you want to do first is yarn round twice, and then counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the 6th chain from the hook, go in there, yarn over again, and then pull through 2 loops. And then, because this stitch means that we're working over 3 different stitches, including a middle one that we miss, we want to yarn over and make the next stitch in this chain here, and then yarn over and pull through. And you want to yarn over and pull through 2 loops, however many times, I've forgotten. 1, 2, 3, I think it's 3, 4, sorry, I didn't think to check that. It's that many, however that many is. And what you've done is made 2 little legs of a cross treble stitch and an arm. I think that's the best way of describing it. And then you chain 1, and this is the weird bit. You have to, well, not weird, but this is the bit that flummoxed me when I first started trying to do this stitch. You yarn over, and then you want to make a treble into the centre of the cross. Yarn over, and just, that's a UK treble, which is a US double, and that is the very first cross treble made. I chain 1, and then you make another one, or you continue making them along your chain. So yarn round twice, skip this chain in the middle of the crosses, and work into the next one. And then you're just repeating the first one. So you skip this chain and go into this one to make the second leg, and then yeah, that is 4. So you do that all the way along. So chain 1 and then go in here, and then keep going until you get to the end. This is the last stitch I'm going to make on this row, and then we'll go on to the next row. So yarn round as before, yarn round the hook twice, then go in to make your first leg, and then in the very last stitch make the second leg. And I'll just show you again where to put your hook. So to make that last arm, you yarn around the hook, and then you're going to work into the what will be the center of a cross. So that's here, and it will be in these 2 stitches. So you just slide your hook through there, and that is where you make the last UK treble, US double. I've just caught my yarn there, unhooked it. So that's 1 row of cross trebles made. You've got lots of little crosses, big crosses. Chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and turn. And with this row, you can do it either way, because in this book, I'll just show you quickly, this book I've got, this is one of the when I had a quick look, it's one of the earliest examples I found of it. I'm sure there are tons everywhere, but if you see this picture, they're all lined up on top of each other, but I'm going to stagger them, and this is where this one's called a cross treble, and that's in a 60s learn to crochet book. So if you wanted to, I'm sure you could just sort of, as that pattern is worked, you have them on top of each other. But for this one, I want them to cross each other. So yarn round hook twice, and in the arm of the first one underneath, you work 1 leg. And you yarn over and work the next leg into the arm of the next treble, cross treble, sorry. Oh, I'm off camera. I do apologise. I'm not looking. I'm looking at the crochet, not the screen, sorry. I didn't actually see. I hope you got the gist of that. I'll show you again. I'm actually straddling the camera right now, which is making it a bit tricky. So, as you can see, this cross treble is going over the middle of the 2 beneath it. So yarn round hook twice to the top of that one. And then the top of this one. And after a practice run or 2 or 3, I promise it's a really nice rhythmic stitch. Sorry, I'm scattering my son's Lego everywhere. I've stolen his desk, don't tell him. Yarn over, and then in that one. Okay. At the end of the second row, you want to make a treble in that last arm there, and into the 4th chain of this chain that we made at the beginning of the first row. So yarn around hook twice, go in here, and then carry on with your cross treble, and then skip the first chain and work the next bit of the cross treble into that chain there. And that's row 2 done. And that's what it looks like on the end there. So chain, I think, was it chain 5 I said? Chain 5. And then you're just repeating the second row then until you make it as big as you like. And that is pretty much it. I think quite a lot of the time it's the wording of the patterns that's confusing for this stitch. I've found 4 or 5 examples, and it's only when looking at them all together, did it click and make complete sense. So basically all you're going to do is repeat row 2 until it has reached the length you want it to be, and the result is this, which I absolutely love, and which is one of the reasons why I turned it into the Holy Smoke shawl. I'm going to write a blog post to accompany this tutorial, and I will add photographs of the stages just in case that is more helpful to you, and I'll include all the notes that I think will also be useful, as well as I mentioned before, online resources, pictures and pattern, how it's written as a pattern, all that kind of stuff, as so that you've got one. Sorry, my tummy is rumbling like crazy. I better go and have my lunch, I suppose. So I hope that has helped. I hope that I've covered everything you need to know so that you too can make this cross treble stitch. So thank you very much. If you've liked the video, then please do give me a thumbs up and subscribe, because I always aim to add tutorials as often as I can. So thank you very much, and I will see you soon. Cheerio, bye bye.